What makes you guys think that Pattinson is back when he, for like the sixth time yesterday, was just like, nope, different universe.
The Batman and Superman are making the same amount of money. Are people going to line up for another Batman? I don't think so, because people love Pattinson, and it fits. You brought it up before. The DC comics can exist in completely different worlds. Metropolis and Gotham, two completely different cities. I like that feeling of Gotham being all dreary and grounded, and it feels bleak, while Metropolis is so bright and nostalgic and all of that.
Yeah,
It would
that's literally
fit.
comics. Yeah.
Pattinson is around the same age. He's slightly older than David Cornsweet. I think it works. And I mean, there's already rumors that Dick Grayson is going to be in the Batman Part 2.
Nate, I hate to be that person. As the two residential Nightwing fans, I just want to give you a fair warning. If you hear anything about Nightwing, never get your hopes up. Because it's always talked about that he's coming, but he never pops up. Eventually, it just slowly fades away.
We do know that Nightwing exists in the DCU because there is a Titans movie that has been written. So we know that much. But yeah, him being in the Batman, I'm a little unsure of. And I don't know, like James Gunn has told us what The Brave and the Bold is about. It's about Damian Wayne and the Al Ghuls and Batman being older. And as
That
much as I
movie's
don't
not
want
happening.
that, huh?
That movie's not happening.
I mean, I don't want it to happen if I'm being completely honest. Like, I don't want to, that's not the version I want to see. I don't want to see another 45-year-old Batman. Like that's the thing. I want a Batman that is the same age of the Superman we all just fell in love with. Like, I want to see that world's finest, like, establish. And maybe I blame DC Comics for introducing a world's finest book in like the last year and a half of like, I want to see Superman and Batman team up, and I want to see Dick Grayson team up with Kara Zor-El and see that relationship, because that's one that is new to comics, but I automatically just like fell in love with it. But the man keeps reiterating that this dang Damian Wayne movie is happening.
It's not happening. I won't believe it until you cast a new Batman.
But I don't. I guess my whole thing for me is I don't want to commit to seeing two Batman at the same time,
Yeah.
or relative like in between each other. Like that just feels like extra work. And I'm
Yeah.
not. And I know I can easily be like, I just pick one and move on with my life, right? But
But you
obviously,
can't. Because like
exactly.
you love the Reeves movies, right?
Mm.
But you also are invested in this DCU, and it's like you can't just not watch the Batman of that universe. So like you can't even say, "Oh, I abstain. I only want to watch one version," because you're going to watch the Matt Reeves movies, and then you're going to be like, "Who is this dude that just showed up at the end credits of Superman 2 or whatever?"
The one way I would accept it, because somebody's going to be like, no, it's a different universe, but I don't care. You're already bringing John Cena back. Just make it Affleck again. That's the one way I will accept it, because he's the one thing I liked about the Snyder-verse that I
No,
would
let the past die. Kill it if you have to.
But I don't want old man Batman. I don't want, he keeps saying, I want to get smaller actors. If you're going to give me old man Batman, I want a movie star to play Batman.
Ben Affleck was old man Batman 10 years ago, Nate. He's going to be really old Batman
He's
by the
still
time.
shredded.
No.
I get where Nate is coming from. Like I understand the reasoning, but at the same time, I feel like at this point, if we got a new Superman, you have to give us a fresh trio with we need a fresh Batman and Wonder Woman at the same time.
You've got to. You absolutely have to.
Hence why I'm just like, after seeing the success of Superman and seeing how, I don't know about anybody else, I know people are annoyed that the Batman is taking forever. I'm still on board. Like nothing has happened to where I'm like, oh no, it's taking 25 years. I will be there 25 years from now to see this movie. But just seeing how both of those movies were well received, and just adding my own personal experience with the Batman too, I'm just like, money wise, it just makes sense. Like Pattinson is just a heavy name that like it doesn't make sense to strip all your potential success and all the money you can get from just his take and give it to like you're why are you splitting half your revenue? Like I get it. There might be potential that both could make really good money, but like if I'm a betting person, which I'm not, but I would just put all my eggs in one basket and go with the one that's already been well received and try and find a way to integrate it as much as possible, even if that means, you know,
You
switching
would
things
win
up.
that bet.
Jesus.
You
I mean,
need that bet.
I mean, also it just makes sense to me. Like I just see them too, like seeing both of their costumes. And I know they're going to get upgrades to their suits eventually. I'm just like, yeah, I need. I made the joke when the movie first came, when Superman first came out. I'm like, I need this Clark who likes to argue with moody, emo, emotionally undeveloped Bruce Wayne. Like I need the boyfriends to come together so they can be great together. Like it just works so well.
It, I hear you, and I don't disagree with anything you guys have said. I guess I now want to ask, what benefit does James Gunn have in telling us that it's not going to happen? If you guys are this confident that's going to happen, shouldn't he be telling us that right away of saying, yes, these two are going to meet up? Like, that should be what he says right now, right?
Because now, if he says, yeah, they're going to meet up, now the conversation changes completely. Because if they don't, that's going to be more disappointing.
Yep.
Keep people on the hook of like, oh yeah, this movie is still happening, regardless of if we're right or wrong about the whole situation. Because it's going to be more exciting when at a say like a 2027 Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, these two walk out on stage together, like, oh my goodness, like we all knew it was going to happen, but like seeing it actually be a thing, and then seeing like the set photos and everything, I feel like there's more value to keeping us reeling us in. Like, hey, we need to keep that hook in the ocean. We got a bunch of fish. We need to keep them scurrying around for now and whatnot.
I see two different possibilities. Possibility one, when Matt Reeves announces filming on his Instagram, James Gunn is going to do a dual post. They're going to be like, look who popped up on set. And David Cornsweet is like right behind Robert Pattinson. He's waving.
I was telling you guys during the Superman press tour. No, it was the red carpet opening night, right? Matt Reeves is there, and everybody's making a big deal about it. And I'm just like, this is why Robert Pattinson can't go to stuff. Because if Robert Pattinson was on that red carpet, the internet would have lost its marbles, you know?
But I mean, Matt Reeves being there is proof. Cliff and I are so right.
I find it fascinating. I don't understand the relationship that Matt Reeves has with DC Studios because James Gunn keeps mentioning he's mentioned Matt Reeves like 20 times over like the last 2 weeks, which means that they are really close. And Matt Reeves developed Batman Cape Crusader. He's also James Gunn said he and Matt Reeves approved the script for Clayface right before they started production. And Clayface is DCU. And so it's just like Matt Reeves is helping develop DCU Batman titles along with Crime Saga Batman titles. And that's just so bizarre for a guy who doesn't seem to be,
Yeah.
in it yet.
Reeves has a stake in Batman. Any Batman related project he's going to produce. Why would he produce The Brave and the Bold?
Money.
Paycheck. He got kids to feed. He got mouths to feed.
That's true.
But I don't know. Maybe if we want to get conspiracy based, I
Go
believe
for it.
Matt Reeves and James Gunn, they both have a love for Jeff Loeb as well. Like to the point where Matt Reeves even mentioned that Jeff Loeb was one of his like writing teachers when he was at USC.
Oh, wow.
So like, yeah, like here I'll send the tweet because I actually have it up here. Like he mentioned this in 2018, so this was like way before the Batman was even a thing and whatnot. So like I think they just both have a reverie and they probably just understand the comics or like the characters that they're dealing with together. And so also this isn't the first time where we've seen crossover of like iconic directors helping each other build their own versions or a wink wink possible shared version of characters in movies. Nolan was a producer on Man of Steel as well, so like he had input on what happens in that movie as well. So yeah, I just to Mike's point, I think it's just some cooks is in the kitchen right now, just putting in work, and they doing their best trying to hide it.
So, in the event that all of this, oh gosh, weird. There we go. In the event that all of this is playing out and James Gunn is being truthful, right?
He's not.
What would I understand, but in the universe, Nate, that he is, if you were Andy Muschietti or whoever is actually in charge of Brave and the Bold, which have you noticed that Andy Muschietti is just not involved in anything anymore? Where is this man?
He's working on. I think he's doing going back to horror. No, he's working on the HBO show.
Well, at least he's still with Warner Brothers because like he does not seem involved with this movie at all.
Oh, he's not
But
doing it.
but I wanted to ask you guys, if you were tasked with making a different version of Batman separate from Reeves and Pattinson, what would that look like? What would you do? Because you have to sell this thing, but it also can't like really overlap too much tonally. I know this is a lot to throw at you. You probably need to think about it for a second. So I can go first if you need me to.
I can say mine. You hire this guy named Rat Meeves
Oh God.
and Robert Rattinson. And they make this movie called The Batman Part 2. The Brave and the Bold.
They just really, really stuck up on like, oh yeah, there's no point in thinking about this, guys. This is what's happening. I would probably try and just go like if this is gonna be the Dark Knight, right? I would make my Batman the Caped Crusader. Like he is fighting villains like Poison Ivy and Clayface, who's in this universe. He's gonna do a little bit more of the fantastical, right? Like Ra's al Ghul is here. Lazarus pits are a thing. Jason Todd came back to life because of one. Like I would go full on into like dark magic Batman if we could. Joker and Harley Quinn can still be around, obviously. But like I would just lean into that. I would lean into the Bat family stuff because I feel like the Reeves movies will just not Batman's too young. We're not gonna get into all of that. I do want to see multiple Robins. I do want to see multiple Batgirls. Like I want to see Oracle here. I want to see Cassandra Cain. Stephanie Brand would be cool. I would lean just like full on Detective Comics mode with this character. But what would you guys do? Cliff, I guess, because Nate is just saying the Batman Part 2.
I have a real answer, but I want Cliff to go first.
I would do two things. One, just to fill the Batman void, I would get a very well known or a pretty good indie director, possibly. Maybe get the guy Dan Trachtenberg, who's doing the Alien movies, to make a animated Batman Beyond movie, just to get us in between, through the keep us busy. And then after that, if I'm doing a Brave and the Bold, if I'm trying to introduce a new Batman, I too would probably call it Cape Crusader, just to fully differentiate from all the Batmans that we've seen previously, because we haven't had a Batman Forever or Batman and Robin type of title since then. It's always just been Dark Knight Rises,
Yeah.
Batman Begins, yada yada yada. And I will fully embrace, sort of the more fun aspects. He's fighting Poison Ivy. He's fighting Solomon Grundy. He's fighting Victor Zsasz, which maybe that might be better for Matt Reeves kind of world, and whatnot. But give us like Killer Croc. Give us the Court of Owls. A full gray suited Batman with a purple or blue cape. The aspects of the world of the Batman that a lot of us know because of comics, but the movies have yet to adapt fully. Like we just got it with Superman. Let's try and get the more fantastical and slightly whimsical side of Batman's world. More characters and all that stuff. Robins and yada yada yada.
This
I-
might be
Give us
an
Kite Man.
extremely hell
Well,
yeah.
I had my pitch. That wasn't the Batman Part 2.
Before you jump in, I just want to build off something Cliff said. He mentioned Court of Owls. Hot take: Court of Owls has now become a Nightwing villain. That should be the Nightwing movie. Hot take. I'm just putting that out there. He has too big of a connection to the Court of Owls now. Like Batman can be in that story, but I feel like now it probably serves Dick Grayson a little bit more. Am I wrong there?
No.
Cliff is thinking real hard.
Maybe. I can't say yes or no because like I understand where you're coming from because Nightwing Rebirth is that first like half of that series is just all like Parliament of Owls and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Like
I don't know. I guess yeah, go for it.
I love Batman Court of Owls as a story. Don't get me wrong. But the way it's just been used in comics, it's like, do we want that to just be like the Nightwing movie or series? And like Batman can still be a part of it. But like if we're adapting it to screen, I feel like you could do a Nightwing Batman team up movie versus Court of Owls, if anything, instead of just making it strictly a Batman movie. That's all.
Yeah. Scrap it. We don't need an actual Batman Brave and the Bold. It's just Batman and Robin. It's just Batman and Nightwing.
Well, now we got to call it Nightwing's cool. But I was going to say now we have to call it Robin and Batman because Batman and Robin has been taken by.
We truly just call it Dynamic Duo.
There's already a movie called that. Nate, what's your pitch, bro?
Okay, I liked your idea of going into the mysticism because all of these last iterations of Batman have been like drowned in like grit and realism. So I want that. Yeah. And I want a director who's already attached to a DCU project. No, it is not Matt Reeves. You probably thought I was going to say that.
Well, James Gunn said that. James Gunn was like, hey, I want Matt Reeves to make a DCU movie. He said this like a day ago.
I want James Mangold. Moving on from Swamp Thing, doing the Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Cast somebody like, this is an actor who also started out in a trashy franchise that actually was created from a fan fiction of Robert Pattinson's starter franchise. Jamie Dornan, I would like to see him as a DCU Batman. And because he's in his 40s, or he's in his late 30s, I don't know. But he's that right age where he could be that convincing dad where he's been doing that for a while. And I want him full-blown mysticism and fighting villains we haven't really seen depicted on screen or just depicted on screen accurately. I've longed to see Poison Ivy, I mean, for obvious reasons, and Mr. Freeze depicted faithfully and good in a movie, a live-action movie. And I think that would be the route to go as well. I don't know. That's kind of what would be the one thing that would make me like, okay, I like that. I know I like this guy, but he's only like 5 years older than me. But Brandon Skenlar, I've heard him. I'm like, he's young. He's not playing a dad.
Well, if he's 5 years older than you, that puts him close to Cornsweet, a little older than David Cornsweet, right?
Yeah, they want an older Batman, though.
You're pitching. I just pitched a Nightwing movie and threw Damien to the curb. You can do whatever you want here. You pitch.
Well, I already did it initially. You get Rat Meeves.
No. I find it interesting.
Robert Pattinson.
I find it interesting that Clayface, James Gunn revealed earlier this week that Clayface was initially going to be in the Reeves-verse, and they moved it over to the DCU. So is the Reeves-verse less grounded than we all initially thought? Like, what is going on here?
As it is the same universe, is what I believe.
I know it's a crime saga, but in my mind, I've always seen this kind of expanding.
Yeah,
a little bit because, especially if I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they use more of the weirder creatures, like Killer Croc or Clayface. Like you're going to have to eventually introduce some idea of fantasy to all this, even though it's a crime saga they're calling it. But I don't know. I want to be in the rooms where it happened. Exactly. Because when Michael, you had mentioned James Mangold, I thought you were going to say Mike Flanagan at first. Because I just can't imagine that he just wrote a script and said, "All right, bet, bye."
That's true. It's like I'm not even going to direct this thing. Here you go. Here's Clayface. I'm out of here. That's just so strange.
He's busy. He has to deal with Amazon.
He can't make one movie though.
Amazon's gonna be like, nope, take, gotta adapt more Stephen King.
I'm really fascinated because James Gunn's been talking about Darren Aronofsky and Ryan Coogler and Greta Gerwig a lot. And he does I was just talking to these people about Superman. It's just like, sure, But you mean to tell me you aren't talking to Ryan Coogler like, hey, I want you to take over this specific character? Like, I would not be surprised if Ryan Coogler's attached to Batman. You know, if Darren Aronofsky is working on like another detective script, like The Question or something.
Detective Chimp, Darren Aronofsky.
Cliff, go.
I'm for that. Don't we love Detective Chimp over here? Okay?
Oh yeah, we do.
We love some Justice League Dark, the best detective in DC Comics actually. But no,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like historically, like if Ryan Coogler got Batman, holy shit! Like it's a big deviation from what we're used to from him, and like
Yes and no, because like you saw what he did with Wakanda and Black Panther. And
yeah,
but
that's what I'm
like
saying.
now
Like it's like we've seen it, but it's such a like I feel like
yeah.
Batman would be stripped down by so much, you know. And we've seen what he does with the limited location with Sinners and
Yeah.
whatnot. So I'm just like
think about Sinners, right? That most of that movie takes place in that barn. What if we just did Arkham Asylum and he like gets the same like vibe and like scary?
Yes.
That'd be sick. That'd be so sick.
because he hasn't done a horror movie. Well, he has done a horror movie. Never mind.
Kind of, yes and no. Because like
You
I was
know.
able to watch Sinners, therefore I'm not counted as a horror movie if I got through Sinners. No, but like the gears are turning, and I believe that we're gonna have a two Batman situation.
No.
I feel like because Colin Farrell said that he's in Batman 2. He's not sure if he's in Batman 3. He said this like a week ago. They didn't announce Batman 3, mind you. So I feel like this took so long because Reeves wrote 2 scripts.
Yep.
And they're going to get this trilogy just out the way and done, and then we start over. That's what I think is going to happen.
He's
like,
doing it. So Robert Pattinson, they complete the trilogy, and then he's like, I'm grown up now. I had a son in the meantime.
This is what Pattinson is. What in his late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, Pattinson's like 39 right now.
Okay, so yeah, he does 2 more movies.
He would be older Batman in like 5-6 years. You know, so like I get the pitch. I understand it. I always said just say, hey, these are prequels. Matt Reeves making prequels. But
you know what,
we also want.
We'll do Batman Beyond. Let's give us something, sir. Like I'm just pitching Batman Beyond to whoever wants it at this point.
I rewatched the pilot for Batman Beyond today, actually. So this is so funny. I'm just imagining Batman, like old man Bruce Wayne, whoever this is, Michael Keaton or whoever. He's just like, "Welcome to my world, Mr. McGinnis," and then we just start a new franchise. That'd be so fun. I know. I hate the Flash for ruining that.
They haven't did it. I don't get it.
They were supposed to, and it got canceled, right? Wasn't there like a pitch for a Batman Beyond animated movie?
Yes, like a Spider-Verse inspired.
And they canned it. We have concept art and everything for it. Hold on.
Wait, do we?
Concept we art? Do. Yeah.
Send the link right now.
Yeah, you guys. World of, you look at it. I'll keep rambling because in a world where we're now seeing team ups and everything, I'm just like Batman Beyond, Legion of Superheroes. Like it's right there, people. Like we can easily.
I literally just Googled concept art. It all popped up. Here it is. Just
that's crazy. Yeah. If anything, we should probably talk about Wonder Woman because that's who I really want to know who they're going to cast.
I'm going to blow this up.
It's going to be beautiful. We're going to be in our 50s by the time this movie comes out.
So this is the first image of Batman Beyond.
I want it so bad.
It is not letting me zoom in, but you guys get the vibes. Again, just Google it. It looks great. Wonder Woman, they're fast tracking that. James Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn's like, oh, this is going to be completely different. And I don't know what that means because we've only had 2 iterations of Wonder Woman and they are completely different from each other.
Present day, I guess.
She's going to have pants.
No.
She's going to fly in case Trayvon watches this.
Wonder Woman is definitely going to fly, Trayvon, if you're watching this. And if Trayvon's not watching this, this is a safe space. I don't want Wonder Woman to fly. I'm on the train for his sake, but I also like all of them having different powers. Flash runs super fast. Superman has flight. Wonder Woman's got a jet. I can live with that. I kind of like that they're all kind of different in that aspect.
Thought she flew a little bit in the Gal Gadot movies.
She flew once, according to Trayvon, and that was in The Flash. And he said that moment will always be special to him. That's why, again, I
Wasn't
don't want
she
to take it
flying
away.
in the sequel? In
She was
Yes.
84?
swinging off of lightning, and then she jumped at the camera. And Trayvon
That's
claims that wasn't
right.
flight.
Okay, I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. As someone who does not engage with Wonder Woman as a character that much, I didn't even know that she flew. Like in my mind, I was just like, wait, can she actually fly? Like I always thought she just, was just a strong warrior, like,
In Justice
giant
League
leaps and
Unlimited, she
whatnot.
had the power of flight.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's where Trayvon is basing his
Okay.
thoughts and opinions on, which I get. Guys, come on. I found a bigger picture.
And he's
This
got
would
the
have been
white eyes like people.
they didn't let this happen. This got pitched after Spider-Verse, and Warner Brothers just said, "No, we're good. We're going to
Fuck
go
you,
make
Warner
Black Adam."
And DC League of Super Pets.
DC League of Super
Which I
Pets,
still haven't seen.
which ties into Black Adam for some dumb reason. Anyway,
I forgot that.
it was so stupid.
Crypto
man.
and Superman, the hierarchy is about to change. I'm Black Adam. This is my dog. Hobbs. Named after my Fast and Furious.
What's funny is, Nate, you could be making all that up, and I still believe you because that's how ridiculous Black Adam showing at the end of Super Pets was.
He did have a dog with him.
Yeah.
I think it was Hobbs after The Rock's own dog. I'm looking this up.
You do that, but Cliff, Wonder Woman's being fast tracked, and I've got theories because James Gunn. We're just doing our DC segment now, Nate. By the way,
Damn it.
noticed.
It was named Annabelle.
Yo, it's Saturday night. We in the house. It's nice out. We chilling.
James Gunn was like, he was on a Happy Sad Confused, and he was asked about the Superman sequel, and he's like, it's not a traditional sequel, and then the follow up question is, the fear is it being another Batman versus Superman situation, or we never get a Superman 2. James Gunn is like, Superman is front and center of this next movie. Follow up question is it a Batman Superman like versus movie? No. Is this a World's Finest movie? No. James gives like a smirk, like no. The no when he's asked is a World's Finest movie makes me feel like it's not a World's Finest movie. It's a Trinity movie, and that's why we're fast tracking Wonder Woman. Am I wrong in assuming that? Because for more context, later on, they asked if Batman would show up before Brave and the Bold, and he said no comment.
Okay, I mean, to be fair, James Gunn, I feel like he also likes to troll as well. Like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
very blunt in some cases, but also he knows that like he can't just be like, oh yeah, this is happening, that's happening, and whatnot. But I like where the conspiracy is going. I like where you're thinking. Because, like, yes, it would be a DC Trinity movie, but also it would be World's Finest. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Because everybody would be hot, probably, in that cast. But I'm would be more curious because if this is let's say if it is a DC Trinity movie, are we ready to fast track team ups again? Like, I get it, we have James Gunn, so we have more quote unquote faith, more direction, and all that stuff. But
if it's just a Trinity team up, I'm not opposed to it. I do want us to still have like their solo adventures. This is where the DC universe gets really weird, right? Because animation exists in continuity as well. So like we can just say Trinity movie, but we're also going to get Superman in like a limited series. And it's going to be like animated, or it's just going to be, he's going to appear in the Jimmy Olsen show for like half the episodes or whatever on Max. And so you can still get like a sense of Superman's world without having to do a direct Superman 2. I feel like if we do this with intention and purpose, we're okay. The problem with what happened before is that Zack Snyder made Man of Steel, and then Warner Brothers was like, we need to do an Avengers, and they like forced him into doing a team up with BVS and all that stuff, and it was rushed. If James Gunn is in charge and he's writing and he is mapping all this out with intention, I think we can do it. Because even in Superman, we get a bunch of characters, they don't have origins, they just pop up. And James Gunn was talking like a couple weeks ago, and he was like, what makes you guys think Superman and Batman haven't already met? And he put that out there. And that's something like I think as fans we never even considered. It's like the Trinity might already be formed. They just weren't in this movie. But like they might already know each other and we just skip some steps.
Yeah, that's fair. As a comic book fan, I'm always just like we're obsessed with meetings and origin stories
Yeah.
that we can't just be like these people already know each other. It's more off-screen development, but yeah, okay. With that thinking, maybe Wonder Woman might be popping up because if they're fast tracking, I'm now curious about what happened so fast that Wonder Woman is now back in the forefront, or back at being, you know, quote unquote important again because it felt like she was going to be gone for a good like 5 years at least.
It's weird because the two that are gone are the Flash and Aquaman. Because James Gunn's
Which
like,
isn't
yeah,
surprising.
y'all not seeing them for like at least 2 years. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, why'd you tell us that?
Boo. I want the Flash. I'm sorry. I was never okay with the Ezra Miller casting. Like, you're casting the gay guy from Perks of Being a Wallflower? I don't really see him in that role.
Damn.
He's a very Wally West. I think a very awkward Wally West. A
But
little,
he was
but
Barry Allen. That's the
yeah,
problem.
Yeah.
yeah. Or
Barry doesn't
yeah.
have big,
Anyway,
shaggy hair.
I just need, if Barry shows up, I need Barry to be blonde. What are we doing with him not being blonde?
Me.
Nate, be Barry Allen.
pretty much.
Yay.
Yeah.
James, call me. Sorry I dissed on your favorite movie, The Flash.
James, call all of us. We would love to have a job. We will gladly work with you.
I've got so many ideas, James Gunn. Like, why
You
are
need
we doing
coffee,
a
sir?
Sergeant? Why are we doing Sergeant Rock? Why is that getting a movie when we could be
Luca
doing Zatanna?
Guadagnino.
Luca dropped out.
Oh, I don't want
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That exactly. That's the only reason why I was on
So
board because like Luca's doing it.
Happy, sad, confused. Since we're here, James Gunn. Let's talk about Sergeant Rock. It's still happening. Luca's no longer attached, and
Boo.
so now it's like, why would I want that movie? Get somebody on Zatanna, James Gunn. That's all I got to say. Get somebody on Zatanna.
I have ideas for Zatanna, but I'm going to get roasted for it because
What's
her
Celine
last
Song
movie
up
wasn't
to?
good.
Is she interested in comic book movies?
Who?
Celine Song, Materialist,
Ooh,
and Past Lives.
Yeah.
Celine doing a Hawk Girl, Hawkman movie, and we're like telling the romance throughout time would be so interesting. That'd be so sick.
He's going to play
Like
Hawkman, though.
Aldous Hodge, who gives a crap?
What's Davidson
Yeah.
Idris doing?
Oh, good question. No, but like the idea, I was actually pitching this to Laura and Nate a few weeks ago because like that'd be really cool doing a romance in a superhero movie of like these two, they're destined to fall in love and find each other throughout time and space, and you can just lean full into like the sci-fi romance of that.
Mhm.
That'd be really fun. So if that's something that Celine Song would want to do, I think she'd crush it. But Nate, you had a Zatanna pitch that you would get roasted for. Hit me.
You know who was originally going to write a Zatanna movie? Who kind of would fit with James Gunn's style? Is Emerald Fennel.
Oh yeah, I forgot him was writing Zatanna a while back, huh?
She is working with Warner Brothers now on Wuthering Heights, which, despite my undying love of Margot Robbie, I'm like, I don't know how that movie's going to be. But you know what? I loved Promising Young Woman, and I think she is a good writer. She has an Oscar, and I feel like she would fit with James Gunn's style. She always has a very peculiar sense of humor.
Did
I
she
think would
do the what's the movie with Joker from Matt Reeves? He was like drinking the stuff from the
yeah,
bathtub.
that's what I was going to say. Saltburn.
That's
That
Saltburn.
it.
was the one that
Okay.
wasn't as good.
I hate that that's the frame of reference you had for Saltburn. Dude from Joker licking something in the bathtub.
I would be like, wait, dude from Joker who was in Eternals. Bathtub.
Like that's an accurate description, but also God, that's the one scene everybody remembers.
It's the most iconic scene. Like I've even with his ending, like dance number, I'm just like I will that but bathtub scene is embedded in my mind. I'm so angry.
Yeah, that's valid.
That's another thing, though. We have we only have one Batman right now. This is the other case for Reeves. I'm going back to it. He's already set up his Joker. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why would we want the announcement of another Joker in the DCU? Just keep Barry Keoghan.
On the
Is this
flip
assuming
side
that
of
we're
that,
getting a new Joker
right?
in the Brave and the Bold? Because I can easily see them never using Joker for a good long while
I mean, that would be
in
best
this
case
franchise.
scenario. But
also, you've got to do Joker. You've got to
Yeah.
do Joker because
he's
you're
the
now
most
in a DC universe where Red Hood happened. You've got to explore that at the very least. So now you've got to do Joker.
Did it?
Well, if Damien's Robin, I'm assuming a good chunk of what we know happened. I don't know if Tim Drake survives this adaptation, but Jason Todd at least died because they're going to want to do a Red Hood TV show. You know? That's
Okay.
my assumption.
Because that animated dynamic duo, that's supposed to be in continuity, or is that just its own
They're
thing?
not. They will not tell us.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's canon, but I know Nightwing's going to be in Titans, and I know that it's just too easy to do a Red Hood in the Outlaws. Like you get Roy, you get Jason, and then you just go. Let's go shoot up some folks and call it a day. You know, in the game, as Jefferson would say. But yeah, I don't know, guys. This is interesting. A lot to talk about. I find it funny that James Gunn refuses to do a Comic-Con, but he will just not stop talking literally everywhere else. I don't know if you guys saw, but he also said that the writer of The Authority is writing another movie that he's excited about. And he said, I mean, the writer of The Authority moved on to a different project. Do we think he was writing The Authority? Is that why the engineer was in Superman?
Yeah.
Do we think it was just a Freudian slip of his, essentially? I mean, I think so. I can't see any. I don't know any other director or writer. I'm not saying that these people don't exist who will be like, "Hey, let me do Authority." You know,
I'm going to be that guy and say they don't exist. They're only going to do The Authority because James Gunn wants it, and they might like pitch on it to get a script going. But I don't think anybody of their own fruition are going to be like, "Hey, I have this really great idea for The Authority."
It's
no one knows who Mr. Miracle is, let alone the Authority.
We're getting that as a show, though, so you know.
I was just
Surprising still.
rewatching his announcement video. It was probably last weekend, but he like talked about it being a passion project of his. Why would you let someone else do his passion project?
It's funny you mentioned that because he also revealed that he's not writing Creature Commandos season 2. That somebody else is writing that. So
That's
I think he.
easier though. That's a TV show.
I'm just saying. I think we're reaching that point where he's now more willing to delegate. So like he might still be writing The Authority, but like if The Authority becomes a franchise, I also see him stepping away from it. Like I don't think he's writing Superman 2.
Oh, I think he is. I think he's doing the Superman too.
Like
Really?
he's doing whatever this other Superman centered project is.
Yes.
I believe that. But like as far as standalone Superman movies, I think he's off of it going forward. He did it to establish the universe. He's going to use the character in whatever Supergirl, Superman team up, or Trinity, whatever the thing's going to be. But like an actual Superman sequel, I don't think he's going to be there.
Wait, what if he gets... You know, James Gunn has written a script for another director before.
Shut up.
Scooby-Doo movie.
Shut up. No. We're not. No. Zack Snyder's The Authority. Come on.
That feels too easy. I'd rather Zach get something that like truly could like flex his creative muscles.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was just trying to piss Mike off.
You know,
It's just not even. I don't care about The Authority. This doesn't piss me off. It's just too safe of an option. I'm all for Zack Snyder coming back to DC. I honestly think that would be good to like heal that wound for a lot of people. Like, hey, the Snyderverse is back in a new way. It's here. He's doing this franchise.
The
I'm cool with
Authority
that.
with Henry Cavill as the lead.
Henry Cavill actually could be the lead because one of the characters in The Authority is kind of like a Superman spoof.
It would
And
make
so
sense.
he very much can play Apollo, I think is his name. Yeah. He definitely could play Apollo, ironically. But yeah, like I don't know. Getting Zack Snyder back for the Authority specifically, I don't know. Getting him back in general, I'm open to, as long as we get him with a good writer. He's not good at picking out his own writers. His original projects suck. So
He
pair him up
needs
with a
the
good
writer
writer.
for Rebel Moon, the masterpiece.
And
I
with
need
Give me
that,
him.
Swamp Thing. I need him to do a horror movie.
Mangold's on Swamp Thing. We're not giving that one up.
Nope.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, controversial take. I might be shooting myself in the foot with this. I'm Zack Snyder New Gods.
Do you really want to see that?
I don't know.
Like, I'm just gonna say, do you really want to see that?
I said I was shooting myself in the foot because I'm really just imagining like I know he'd love Orion as a character, but outside of that,
I
I don't know.
didn't particularly like, because like he was technically working with the New Gods anyway. I'm not huge on what we did with Steppenwolf. Like, I don't
Which
like
is
the
fair.
design we had of Darkseid. He's just like generic gray giant monster. So like, the New Gods have so much personality and life to them, and frankly, I just don't think Zack Snyder can bring that out. But like
Hmm.
visually, the world, I think he can get. It's going to be an aesthetically pleasing movie, but again, like Zack Snyder's just not a character-driven director, and I feel like what makes the New
But that's
Gods
what I think
work.
I would want from him. I want him to do like a character-driven story that's like very toned down. That's not sci-fi. That's just
Can he do
I
that?
just don't
Is
know
my
what it
question.
is.
This is not Zack Snyder, but you mentioned Darren Aronofsky. And if James Gunn is all for adapting like award-winning comic book runs, what if we got Darren Aronofsky doing the Animal Man run?
James mentioned Animal Man earlier this week. Y'all are so lucky that I just remember all of these tidbits off the dome. He was on the Seth Meyers show, and Seth Meyers was like, "Hey, can I play Animal Man?" And James was like, "No, we're going to need an extremely talented person to do that when we get there." And it's like, well, one, ouch, that's very hurtful for Seth Meyers. But two, that means you're thinking about it and you plan on doing it, and you already know like, oh, we need a very like prestige actor to take on this role. So yes, Animal Man might happen.
So Glenn
Grant
Powell's about
Morris.
to play Animal Man. All right.
He's a good actor, Cliff. Come on. Got him.
Okay, but yeah, that's interesting. Now I need to read some Animal Man comics. Well, I should have been reading Animal Man, but okay, that's it. Because now I'm curious about Darren Aronofsky as director. What's Bong Joon Ho up to? Since he likes doing adaptations, and
That's
Animal Man fits right up his wheelhouse of like environmental regulation, environmental safety, and all that stuff, and animal cruelty and yada yada
Stephen
yada.
Young, Animal Man. That would be sick.
ooh, that's interesting. I would dig that. We also have like James talking about he's working with like foreign film directors and like getting those types of films going. We had the rumor of the K drama Huntress series that they plan on doing.
What?
This was rumored. This was rumored.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, but that kind of just leads into James like confirming, yeah, we're working with like not just filmmakers from this country, but from across the globe to bring different voices to the DC universe.
Got it.
But yeah,
SS Roger Mooley, New Gods. Let's go. I'm all for
yes,
it. I'm all for it.
yes,
Yeah.
that would be so epic. Just because one thing that I love about what DC Studios is doing so far is that they're embracing different types of genres. The MCU feels very samey, but like he said, we're getting Clayface, which is going to feel like a Blumhouse big budget body horror movie.
Are you gonna watch Clayface though, Mike? You don't watch horror.
I love the character of Clayface, so yes, I will suffer through it.
Which, quick question is: have you watched any recent horror movies, or do you just like not watch horror at all?
I don't watch horror at all.
Okay,
Um,
interesting.
That's okay.
sometimes I make a special case. I saw Candyman. I saw The Invisible Man. I saw Sinners.
What about like B movies, like B horror?
No, I mean if there's one you guys say I should watch, I'm not opposed to watching it. It's just not a genre Deep Blue Sea.
Hell yeah.
Is this what I need to watch? Is this what we need to talk
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
Best shark
Guess I'm
movies
watching-
ever exist. Jaws has nothing on this movie, and I stand by
Yikes.
that.
You know what? I will respect it because you have good taste. So
Michael? I'll just put it this way:
You-
LL Cool J plays a reformed creature who's now a chef on aquatic shark base. It's great.
You had me at
wonderful.
LL Cool J. I'm just like him
And
being in
Samuel
this
Jackson.
movie and sold. Yeah, I'm just not horror is just not a genre that I'm into.
wait, I was gonna say because you're like I watch Sinners, so that's not a horror movie anymore because I didn't watch it, and I'm like, as soon as you said Candyman, I'm like, you cannot dismiss Candyman as not horror.
Yeah, I said I don't watch it. I make special cases. I did watch that one.
Yeah.
But also Sinners just does not feel like a horror movie to me.
It isn't
like,
really.
I can watch thrillers. Like it's got scary moments, but it's not like a horror movie in my book.
No.
But yeah, like I love that the DCU is able to have different tones, different styles come in. That makes it exciting for us to theorize about. But I also think it's just going to make the universe feel fresh. One of the issues Marvel had was the assembly line. Peyton Reed shows up, makes no offense, Peyton Reed, I love you, but like,
Thank you for bringing it on, sir. We love your work.
right? But it doesn't feel like it's his movie when he does Ant-Man. You know, it like even the Russos. I think the Russos work at Marvel because Kevin Feige's kind of just saying, "Hey, this is what we wanted to look like and feel like," and they can deliver on that. But it doesn't feel like a Russo's picture. You know,
we know
probably
what a
for the
Russo's
best.
picture looks like.
I know, probably for the best. But like honestly, since God, outside of Ryan Coogler and I guess Sam Raimi with Multiverse of Madness, all of the Marvel movies feel very similar in tone. And I think that's why people experience fatigue. I think they're just tired of the same Marvel tone. And I don't know if I don't think DC's going to ever have that problem. Which is
to its credit, and I did not like this movie at all, Eternals did feel different. It was boring as shit, but it was different.
Eternals was different. And this is something that I always talk to our friends, Leo at Geekly Goods and Christian from Film Optics. We would always talk about because the frustrating conversation at the time was Marvel finally did something different and you guys didn't like it. And we run into the issue of they did do something different, but this movie, as Nate would say, was boring as shit. And that's unfortunate because the moment they stepped out of the comfort zone, it was like their worst reviewed movie. And that's just sucky because then you get a movie like Thunderbolts, which is doing something different, and that's great. People don't show up for it. You're doing Fantastic Four, which is doing something completely different, and that looks like people are going to show up for.
Yep.
So hopefully Marvel just realizes that was a swing and a miss on Eternals, and that's not going to be the constant going forward.
Eternals 2.
Eternals 2.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
I hate you.
But to make it happy again,
yes,
I have in terms of Michael's Teen Titans movie. There's one director I've been thinking about who he almost had a chance at Marvel, but creative differences and all that stuff. But he's about to do this little movie called Running Man.
Ooh.
In terms of action and just visual palette, that's like just in terms of a director who just knows how to use a kinetic energy when it comes to editing and shooting action and stunts. Edgar Wright on a Teen Titans movie.
That'd be.
I mean, Edgar Wright doing any movie is an automatic sell for me.
Yeah.
Him on Titans, I think I would love the energy he would bring to that team. I think it'd be the perfect medium because as somebody who loves the new Teen Titans and the OG Teen Titans, I don't like the animated series and like how that's changed the perception of what that team feels like. But I feel like Edgar Wright can do the happy medium of, hey, I can bring the comic book elements and still have that fun tone of the series. And it's like the perfect medium between the two to make me happy and make the rest of the normies happy.
Another director I thought of, because you said somebody who had a brush with Marvel, I thought of somebody who had a brush with DC. And he only did one, like, he did a couple of movies, like, in the early 2000s, but then he made Dope with Mike's romantic rival as the lead, Shameik Moore.
Mm-hmm.
He almost directed The Flash, but he's gone on to direct like prestige, like television. Like he's directed Mando. He can do action. He's an avid comics fan. He's another one because I kind of want Edgar Wright's The Flash.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Rick. Which Nate, I'm curious. Have you seen any of his other movies as well?
I've only seen Dope, but I've seen his TV work.
Okay, I need you to go to Letterboxd and to your watch list. Add Brown Sugar and The Wood.
Okay.
Thank me later.
I am adding those because I always am going to trust your recommendations more than most people.
Do you know how much he loves you, Cliff, for you to diss Jaws? And then he gets a movie recommendation from you and he's just like adding it to the list immediately. That is a special kind of love that Nate is showing right now. That means he respects you a ton.
Look, I've noticed if there's any movie in like my little like nerdy filmography that gets people on my side, it's Deep Blue Sea. I don't know why. I will recommend that movie to everybody because there's something about it that there's some moment that you will love in that movie that will make the hour and like 40 minutes worth it. And it's like once I mention that, cool, I got you in. Now I'm gonna really give you all the weird and dumb movies that I watch.
So in March 2024, Hollywood Reporter announced an exclusive Teen Titans live action movie, A Go at DC Studios. The script is what's being written by Anna Noguera, who did Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl, Nate, you've been reading Woman of Tomorrow. Great book. If that movie is any good, I'm excited for Titans. Yeah, if it's anywhere near as good, I'm excited for it. So Titans has had a writer. I assume the script has to be close to completion at this point, even though James Gunn hasn't officially ever confirmed that this was happening. Hollywood Reporter doesn't just say a script is being written and nothing ever come of it. To talk about Titans and just like wind this conversation down, I'm interested. This article is also talking about Beast Boy, Cyborg, Raven, Starfire, Robin, Wonder Girl, which was the comic book lineup at the time. So that might just be where they're pulling from. But if it's not, and that's the lineup they go for with the movie, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
I will say the one report I don't believe, we're not getting a Bane and Deathstroke movie.
So
that sounds stupid.
Our good friend Umberto at the Wrap talked about that earlier. He was on Scott Mendelson's podcast this weekend, and he said that script is about to be submitted to James Gunn within the next couple weeks.
Why did James Gunn commission that?
Well, remember, this isn't we announce a slate of movies and plug people in. This is you pitch us something that we like, we're going to do it. So somebody was probably like, hey, James, I got this sick idea for Bane and Deathstroke. And he's like, sure, I'll read it. That's what I assumed happened.
So
it's Robert. It's our buddy Robert. And he was like, I have a lethal weapon idea for Bane and Deathstroke.
So who would you pick to direct? Let's say if this actually happened.
Bane, I don't know what it would be about. I can't go anywhere with this. Like I assume we'd go action heavy if we're gonna have these two powerhouses. The Raid. Yeah.
I love how we all just thought because that was my answer.
I was literally going in that direction. Like if it's action heavy, The Raid, but like, I don't know what this movie is. These are two characters that I don't even think in comics have ever met before, which makes it so strange.
My guess is that someone would be hiring Slade to hunt down Bane. Like he's a rising power on what's the island? Corto Maltese? No, that's from Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's I think that's it. I think that's it.
It might
Hold
be.
on. Damn. Now I'm gonna be
Santa Prisca.
Santa Prisca. Not me Googling Bane Island DC. Just to double check.
Look, these island nations, it's crazy in DC, but my guess is that he's a rising power on this island, and maybe some agency feels threatened, so they hire Deathstroke, and somehow Deathstroke is like an anti-hero.
This is so stupid. I mean, I guess you can do a John Wick thing where, like, yeah, he's trying to get to Bane, or vice versa, because they're both mercenaries in some iterations, you know. So it's like maybe that's the idea. They've got to kill Amanda Waller or whoever, right? And it's them both trying to get to the same person. That could be fun.
And Louis Tan plays Slade Wilson somehow.
I mean, why not? But yeah, like that.
Dude.
That's
The guy who is writing the Bane and Deathstroke script, he worked on the script for Captain America Brave New World. You think that script is going to be good?
And Russo's did You Mean Dupree beforehand, so I'm always going to be like, I will give them one movie prior. I will never. I never want to take away from someone's artistic creativity for previous movies they've done, because they can always turn it around and give us something phenomenal afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, last week on Insider Chatter, Nate, you and I were talking about John M. Chu, and it's like that man's filmography was really weird until recently.
And now he's like making bangers.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? Get I'm probably about to butcher this man's name. I think it's Soi Chang. I don't know if y'all know him. He did Twilight of the Warriors, Walden, which is a great movie with Sammo Hung, action movie from last year. That's just a beast of a film. Yeah, if you just look up of the Warriors, Walden, great movie, highly recommend it. But if they get him to direct, that's another visionary from China that can really has a great visual language with what he does in that movie. And I think if they're genuine about bringing directors from other platforms in other countries into this, it could work. Like I could see the lady who directed Titan doing a Poison Ivy movie.
Ooh, that'd be sick. He's also been buddy with the director of Godzilla -1. Like they've been seen together a lot lately. I feel like, and this is just like the business side of things. On one hand, these are very talented people. I'm not trying to discredit that, but also they're going to be significantly cheaper. And so profit margins and all that. So it's like you get these visionary directors to come in, but they're also making like indie B movies, and so you can get them to make these movies for cheap to make the profit margins a little bit easier. We had an announcement, not an announcement, but like we had an article from like I think it was Variety, and they were talking about the budget breakdown of Superman. And David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan both made under $1 million for that movie. Nicholas Hoult made $2 million for that movie. And they're very talented and they were great in the film, but they're also not like Hollywood's biggest names. So they're not demanding 10 mil, 15 mil like Robert Downey Jr. is, over on the Marvel side. So I think Safran, Gunn, and everybody at Warner Brothers are probably like, hey, these are very talented people out there that we can bring in for cheap, keep the budget low, make some bangers, and then they can get their pay raises on the back end when they come back for sequels, right? Like if you do a Deathstroke Bane movie in a Raid or John Wick style, and that blows us all away, and that franchise hits the heights of John Wick, now everybody involved are making really good money. Like I think that might be what's happening here too. So it's not just, oh, James Gunn wants to work with foreign directors. It's also Warner Brothers is also looking at that like, well, we can bring them in for cheap, because the director of RRR, him doing a New Gods movie, that's still going to be the biggest budget he's ever worked with, because RRR was like $15 million.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That movie, I still haven't seen it. I will.
Nate.
Eventually. I know.
Nate knows movies.
No, Cliff and I reviewed this movie when it came out. Cliff and I will be willing to review it again to get you to watch it.
I know.
I think that's what made us start doing podcasts, was RRR, I believe.
I know.
That was one of the first, relaunch of the show, for sure.
My roommate has seen it, and he's not the cinephile.
Well, Nick, what are you doing tonight?
I'm
after this
going to bed. Well, it's 3 hours. I can watch it tomorrow. I will watch it tomorrow. I have no plans.
Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, tomorrow's cool. I was gonna say, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this content, right? We're gonna do a reaction. Nate watches RRR for the first time. I was gonna pitch that, but if you're just gonna watch tomorrow, cool. We won. We don't need to shoot the video.
The Because also, I feel like we need Nate to just experience it on his own. Like everyone deserves that just one watch by
Yes.
themselves or in a theater to just fully be immersed. Because
It's
Nate,
three
I know we've
hours.
talked
It
about,
doesn't really
yeah,
feel like it. I will say.
Nate, yeah, it's 3 hours. It's just
Don't watch it in dub. I watch anime in dub. I am a dub fan. Do not watch this movie in dub. It's a
I
terrible
wouldn't.
dub.
I don't do any uh dubs at all for live action. I can't.
yeah. I think Trident it's Telugu audio, which is its original audio
Yeah.
and whatnot. But yeah, it's I'm excited for you. You're gonna have a
Mhm.
beautiful experience. I wish if we could, we need if once you watch it, maybe we can convince Trayvon to watch it as well because we just need to. And I feel like Trayvon would love this movie, truly,
I've
for
tried to
multiple
get
reasons.
Trayvon and Joel and Dej to watch this movie since it came out, and they keep saying no. So I'm over it.
Have
They
Have
just
you
want.
sent Have you sent pics though of the scene where he's like fighting the tiger? Have
No,
you
I haven't.
like exactly? You have to know your target audience.
That's fair. It's like, hey, Trayvon, these two are hot. Let's go.
But yeah, Nate, yeah, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be. I can't wait to see your review for it.
Oh yeah.
Guys, this is still recording. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys for joining us on this random conversation on what's happening in the DC universe. This has been a blast. Of course, when James Gunn opens his mouth again, we're going to be here talking about it because that's what we do. Like, subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.